Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I'm Stephanie Fisher. I'm a licensed counselor here in the state of Michigan, and I'm owner and operator of In Progress Counseling. One of the questions, and sometimes clients can find it a little abrasive early on, but often they will adopt it into some of their own internal structuring. One of the questions I might ask a client when they're anxietizing about something that frankly might be none of their business or certainly doesn't warrant an energy expenditure, will ask the question, well, what's it to you? And it's a really helpful reflection because sometimes our minds grip on details and situations that are just non-issues, or maybe even more precisely, they're just not related to us. And so let's say, for example, a client comes in, or even I'm having a conversation with a friend, and they say, oh my word, my neighbor just bought this boat, and they had a new boat last year. I'm not sure why they bought a new boat this year. That's such an obnoxious use of money. And when you pause and say to someone, yeah, but what's that to you? What's it to you how they spend their money, how they don't spend their money? Does that affect your day in any way? Does that affect your okayness in any way? The reality is, if it does, we want to explore that. Because as far as I understand it, you live next door to this person. They're not storing the boat on your property. They're not compelling you to ride on the boat. Maybe they're excluding you from the boat, and so that's problematic, and you have hurt feelings. I'm not sure. If it means something to you, it's possible that that's a thread we pull at. But naming facts or data about someone else's life, sometimes it's incredibly helpful to say, well, what's it to you? What's it to you if this person is an early riser or a late riser? What's it to you if they drink Starbucks 7 days in a row and you think that that's wasteful spending? What's it to you if they're taking their third vacation this year? The more I invite clients into taking perspective about, like, hey, does that actually affect you? Because if it doesn't, there's a lot of energy expenditure going on here towards something that's really non-consequential in your life. I wonder if there's a better way to spend that energy and time. Now, we've talked in other videos about negative emotions or interesting emotions around like jealousy and envy. Those are important to discover and to tease apart and to wonder what's going on there. Just because they give us a lot of insights about us. But the reframe and the internal organization, when my mind starts to say, well, I can't believe that person wore that, or I can't believe they showed up that way, or I can't believe, or I can't believe, or I can't believe, I keep asking myself, Steph, what's it to you? What is that your business? What does that do to your day? What is it about your opinion that you think really needs to weigh in here? What's it to you? It's a great question to be asking, because what it does is it gives us freedom to walk away from things that are inconsequential, or they're not our responsibility, or they're not even problems that are that need to be identified as problems. They're just things and data. Our interpretation of it becomes problematic sometimes. And so it's not to say be indifferent to things that are hurtful or harmful. It's recalibrating towards, what's it to you if that person just bought their 600th black sweater? What's it to you? How does that affect your day? If they're not storing them in your closet, they're storing them in their own closet. What's it to you? And it's like, well, they're hoarding, or that's materialistic, or it's okay. What's it to you when you develop it further, right? It gives us a pathway out when we say, Steph, what's it to you? Stay in your lane, take care of your responsibilities, mind your business. If there's something that's my responsibility, or if it's encroaching on something important in my life, I can explore it and I can develop strategies. I can, lament whatever it is. That makes sense. But if I'm upset that someone has their 7 days of Starbucks, or I'm upset that someone has their 600th sweater, that tells me something about where my attention is going. And that's something I do have some control and some agency over. What's it to you is a great way to remind ourselves that, you know what, not my monkey, not my circus. And even if it is my monkey and it is my circus, I still likely have some options with how I navigate that. And if people are doing things that are peculiar, eccentric, different than what we might personally do, to a large degree, what's it to you?